Hello there, I'm Guriel, and today I would like to talk about how Sprint could ruin Halo CE remake. But before we jump into it, first we must understand why it is even a problem.
How's this, Squidward?
It's beautiful!
First, we need to talk about how Bungie was making Halo. You see, Halo Combat Evolved wasn't built with a sprint in mind, of course. So it doesn't matter whether that was due to technical limitations or simply by design choice. What matters is that the entire game was built around its own movement system. That means every level, encounter and scene was built so it matches the pacing and feel of the movement. Now that raises the question, why didn't they add sprint in the later titles? You may ask. So let me explain why. Well, some of you may know this, and some may not, but Bungie actually wanted to implement sprint in Halo 2. People have even found bits of related code and unfinished animations for sprint in the game files. And that raises another question. So why they didn't add it in the end? And the answer is very simple. Well, because it was negatively impacting the game's pacing and it was too difficult to balance properly. So even Bungie was aware that sprint is a no-go and it doesn't fit their vision. And if they struggled to make it work, that utterly defines that sprint isn't meant for Halo Combat Evolved's design. Makes sense, right? And for those who say, just turn it off, man, don't use it. To that I say, it doesn't matter whether you can turn it off or on. The feature simply doesn't belong there. And if you have the choice to turn it off, it means there is no real purpose or a deeper meaning behind that feature in the first place. Let me give you an example with some sprinkles on. Imagine you are in class and you have a subject that is not that hard to learn. The teacher gets sick and a substitute steps in. And he says, "There will be an exam in a few weeks and I allow you to bring a sheet of paper with notes on it." Now think about it. If the subject is easy to learn, is that sheet of paper really necessary? The answer is no. But even then, most people will still bring it simply because it's convenient. And when that happens, you end up relying on it instead of actually learning. So the point is, even if a feature like sprint seems harmless or optional, players will still use it. And by doing that, they lose part of the immersion, which actually goes against the level design of the game. Now with that said, let me show you how sprint can affect encounters and scenery. I'll be using Sprint Evolve mode by Altis94 to showcase examples across a variety of levels. Keep in mind, I know this mode isn't a perfect one-to-one comparison to how sprint may work in the remake, but it should give us enough evidence to make the point for this video. So let's start with the scenery. We are in Pillar of Autumn first, and we see this long hallway. So what am I gonna do? It's a long hallway and I don't want to just walk, yeah, right? Okay, I'll use sprint. I'm sprinting. Not paying attention, because I want to see aliens, right? Aliens, I shoot. I start shoot, as always. And what I've missed? Yeah, of course, because I ran through from there, here, I missed this scenery where the lifeboats are getting launched and the Covenant ships are basically destroying them. So I was sacrificing my immersion for the sake of shooting earlier for these grunts and not paying attention to the surroundings, right? There wasn't build up or anything, I just ran through like a maniac. So that is one example. Let's go to another. So now this room. This is where you get out of these tunnels from the maintenance. And you kill this guy, of course. And then you just run past, right? Because you see a long hallway and you go straight to this guy. But what I've missed, you may ask, right? Well, what I've missed, right? Not because I ran through there like maniac. I again sacrificed my immersion due to making my way shorter, so it takes less time and not paying attention to the surroundings. And I missed this room, where are those elites, which were going to kill me in the cryo, but as I said, as I ran past this, I didn't notice it, right? Because I wasn't paying attention, and I cut myself from this scenery. So that is another example. Let's move to another. So let's now take a look at the Guilty Spark, right? So what am I gonna do? I see a pelican there, correct? Crashed pelican there, and it's empty space, right? So I'm going to run, of course. I'm going to sprint. I take ammo and see that there is a path. So I go, and something crashed, right? So what is it? What is it? I sprint to here and immediately start shooting, right? And now you may ask, how does this break the immersion or anything? Or what is it wrong with this? So I'm going to tell you. So, what is wrong with it, right? Well, I'll show you how it goes when you don't sprint, right? As everybody know, something crashed, right? You take ammo, everything, and you're going to check it out, but you are not breaking the immersion. You are slowly going there, and you are tense. Your intention what's going to happen, and you see this dropship, and the grounds are simply freaking out, and you are wondering what happened, right? What happened? And you go forward like this. Of course, you will kill those jackals. Kill those jackals. And you go here. And see. And now see a long path. So what I'm going to do? I'm going to sprint, right? Oh, what does that, right? And what is wrong with this? You may ask. Well, if I don't run or sprint, well, I look at my radar because I'm not breaking immersion, and I see those plot combat forms like they're strolling there, and when I run, I'm not paying much attention. Yeah, right, I see that guy when I'm going right there, but it is not building the tension, if you know what I mean, because when you're sprinting, you are not paying attention to your surroundings. So you just sprint like a maniac and go here, right? So those are probably the three sceneries that came to mind immediately, which I was thinking. So let's move now to the encounter, shall we? Well, now the encounters, right? So let me show you this section. Where is the Banshee on the other side? So many of you, of course, know that you can board the Banshee. But let me show you how it goes when you have sprint, right? Most of the time, the elite gets there first. But now, the elite has no chance to get in the Banshee first, right? Because I have sprint, of course, and I'm faster. And it simply breaks the encounter, because when I don't have sprint, let's go with that scenario now. When I don't have sprint, I have to fight my way through it. So most of the time you kill this elite, yeah, but now I die. I'm going to die because, of course, when I try to show something, then it always goes bad. Hmm? Ah. Okay. This is going to take a couple times. But you see what I mean. If you really want to get into Banshee, you must... It is much harder to do, because I had to fight my way through. And if I didn't do it, then the elite will get the Banshee first. And the only... And I only won, or get into Banshee, because I staggered the elite and killed that one. If I didn't do that, of course, well, that's the simplest scenario. Let's say I fight those guys. Then I'm fighting. And that guy, that elite, you see, he boards the Banshee, right? Yeah, that can happen even in the remake, right? Even if you have sprint and you don't, you want to fight them. But if you know, you can get that you can board the Banshee on this level, then you are just simply going to try to sprint, right? And you are guaranteed that you get inside always, always. So that is one example how this encounter is ruined, right? Let's talk about the library now. And before you say, okay, I know they are going to remake it or make adjustment to this level, because some people really hate this level. I personally not that much, but I know why they are doing it. And but what is the problem, right? Here, well, if the encounters are going to be the way they are in here, in the original, then the problem is this. We are going here, of course, and no, you need to run. So you are going to use sprint, of course, and because you have sprint, you are going to outrun most of the encounters, right? Like this. So you're running, you are not paying attention to anything. And you are unpunished, because they can't keep up, right? Yeah, they take some of your shields down, right? But, you see, there is no penalty for that. And I'm... and I was able to get through this on a legendary with almost full health. So, this is a pretty warning sign to me, if it comes to library, because if it's going to be like this, then that is not good thing, because you outrun everything and you are not paying attention to the encounters, and most of the time you are only going to fight when you have no way out. Like here, for instance. This is where you need to hold off for a certain of time, right? So we're going to hold off the float. Don't know if it is 45 seconds or something like that. That is quite some time. And if you know these spawns and everything, it's basically easy way, right? To get through this. Not by that. I mean, woo! Okay. Well, you see. And now I'm free, right? I got 1 health. What am I going to do here, right? Well, let me try to run past it. Probably not, because I'm on 1 health. And that's okay. Now you see what I mean. Now the most concerning section of the game for me. It's the final run in the 2 Betrayals. Well, this first part of the section isn't big of a deal, because I tried a couple of times if you can pass through it, run past through it, but the Covenant almost every time aggro on you and you die, especially the Banshee, so I will speed up things a little bit here. Well, this is one instance how it ruins the section in the end. But now this section, right? This is the where it comes down the water. So they basically get aggroed on each other. So what you do, you're going just to pass it, right? There are the rocket floats. But they are no big deal when I have the sprint. And now this section is the most concerning. There are the Banshees on the other side, right? So I want to get there quickly, let's say. So I'll sprint past this. I discovered this path just in 2 tries. So they aggroed on them, and you just run past all the section, all of the encounter. The only main thing that may be concerning is this Wraith, but in the end you get the Banshee always. And what happened here? You just skipped the whole encounter when you had the fight most of the time. Or, of course, you can take Ghost. I think it's it's in the first section, right? You can take the Ghost here, yeah? Which is not a big deal, but when you are on foot, you are still going to have problem there. And I know some of you guys, of course, like me, have no problem with the Ghost getting here and then going there. But for the new players, or those who haven't played the Halo games so much, this is probably the most concerning thing, or they are missing out this whole encounter when you have you have to fight those 2 raids and the Covenant here, and you just run past it and take the Banshee and nothing happens, right? You are unpunished, basically. In the end, you just go to the 3rd generator and end the level. So, with everything we've seen, my statement is clear. Throw the sprint straight into trash. Or if you really want to have sprint in Halo Combat Evolved Remake, or Campaign Evolved, per se, add it as cool. Make it something like, I don't know, like I said in the last video. You have to go around Silent Cartographer Island 2 times on a foot, and then you find a school near the beach, where you first landed with the Marines, for example, right? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a like and subscribe for more content if you enjoyed this one. And if you got a different opinion or simply want to share your thoughts, write that down in the comments, of course. With that said, thanks for watching and see you next time. Bye!